Please welcome Anna Popplewell.
Hello. Have you all recovered from lovely Tom Ellis? Just about.
So how did you enjoy the weekend so far?
It's been so lovely. I feel like everyone is a bit sleepy today, though. I have a sense that you are all recovering from a noise I could hear from my room last night.
Maybe next time you should take part of this noise.
I should. I just fell asleep. And usually I love a dance floor, but next time, for sure.
So, I already see some people who are waiting for you, so probably we just start with the questions from the audience, and we see where the spot will find someone.
Hello.
Hey, I was just wondering if you could tell us something about the experience shooting the big, epic, fancy movies like Narnia, what that was like.
Sure. Well, I auditioned for them for over quite a long period of time. And the first movie, we shot the whole thing in New Zealand, so a very long way from home. And it was just this huge adventure. And when you work on a movie that size, in lots of movies, but particularly on a movie that size, there's so much expertise and so much care and detail that goes into every department. So it was just really exciting to be part of such a loved story, but also part of something where everyone in every department was taking such care with weapons and costumes and stunts and camera work and everything, and that was really exciting, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, you've gone.
Oh, bye.
See you in a minute, I think. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I've got a question concerning the second Narnia movie and your character Susan's relationship with Prince Caspian, because I think we all should know that they fall in love with each other, and they kiss at the end of the movie, and after that, nothing happens. And
I know.
For me, personally, that was terribly frustrating, watching the movie at the age of 12. So what do you think of that?
Well, it was something that was added in from the book, like it wasn't in the book at all.
Yeah.
So I think that the producers and writer and director wanted to be very careful with that and keep it quite light. And you know, they do have this relationship in the second film, but it's all like looks and the odd like scene where it's all very underplayed, and then that little tiny kiss at the end. And I think that we were very like careful in adding that in because it was something that was so different from the books. But yeah, he does just go off with that star lady in the third film, doesn't he? Or he's kind of, in the books, there's a hint that he's very like, yeah, I've forgotten her name. Perhaps you remember.
Me too, unfortunately.
But yeah, that does just kind of disappear. But I think that's just a result of her not returning to Narnia, really. You know, we all have to move on in those situations.
Yeah, but it's frustrating anyway.
I know.
I mean, it could have been romantic, and
I know.
then this happened.
We need a spin-off.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Where is it? Hi.
Hello. My question is concerning the locations, because I'm from Poland and I know parts of Narnia was shot in Poland also, but also other places like New Zealand and probably other countries, I don't know. So what was your favorite location to shoot at?
Gosh, well, we shot in so many beautiful places. Amazing exteriors in Poland and Slovenia and the Czech Republic, and then lots of beautiful New Zealand. But there were a couple of locations where they were so remote that we had to helicopter in with just a skeleton crew and then helicopter out again. And one scene in particular, I think when we were on a boat for Prince Caspian, drifting up a little creek, we were helicoptered into this location, and there were probably 20 crew there, so it's really small. And it was amazing. It was like making a tiny independent movie in the middle of this huge budget franchise. And we got to about 1 p.m. and one of my co-stars, Will, tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, "Look." And I looked up and he went, "That's lunch." And it was lunch being flown in by helicopter to this tiny location. So that was pretty unusual, and they really were some very beautiful places.
Right. Thank you.
You're
Hello.
back.
Yes, now I'm back. I have a question about the end of the second movie.
Yes.
When I watched it, I had a hard time keeping my tears at bay because it felt like this huge goodbye, especially for the older kids.
Yeah.
You grew up doing these movies. What was your last scene in Narnia? How was your goodbye, your personal goodbye? Was it maybe even this scene, the big goodbye scene?
We did film that right towards the end. It wasn't quite the last thing we filmed because there's always like extra pickups and bits to finish. But I did feel really emotional filming that scene. And actually, I remember, because there's a very beautiful Regina Spektor song that's played over that. Yeah. And I didn't hear that song until a screening, I think it was in New York, but Regina played it live at this event. And that made me really emotional. I think her music really like adds to that. And it definitely felt, like for me it was saying goodbye to this big adventure that I'd had. And although I've kept in touch with lots and lots of people, saying goodbye to like lots of wonderful people that you spend time with and get to know and grow up with. But yeah, I still see all the Pevensies. So
nice.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all kind of still in my life, and it wasn't really a goodbye in that sense. But yeah, it was emotional.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ui, hi.
Hello.
Up here. I have 1.5 questions about Narnia as well.
Okay.
They only filmed book 2, 4, and 5. Yeah. My favorite Narnia book is actually book 3, The Horse and His Boy.
Right.
Because it has the Pevensies in it, but as grown-up persons before they return to their world at the end of book 2. Yeah. So I was wondering if they ever decided to shoot that movie after all, would you be interested to reprise your role as grown-up Susan?
I mean, I'd love to, but they do have a grown-up Susan because she comes in at the end of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be a Minotaur. I'll do whatever. Come and stand in the background in a suit.
Yeah, I would love to see you back as Susan. And the second question is, have you read the books?
Yes, I read the books.
Because it's kind of frustrating that at the end, it's like, okay, everybody dies and everybody comes to Aslan's land except for Susan because she's...
I know, poor old Susan. Well, yeah. I think that the theory there is that, I think there's a line, isn't there? There's like one line about how she's become too interested in nylons and lipstick.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure is quite enough of a reason for her being banished entirely.
That's true,
yes. But yeah, that is sad. But equally, I think, in the fact that they're like stories about faith and belief, and I think that the suggestion is that she has lost faith and that she doesn't really believe in Narnia anymore, which is very sad.
Yeah, that's probably the reason, or maybe another reason is that the character whom C.S. Lewis based Susan on, maybe he kind of had a fight with her and didn't like her anymore, so he let her die in the book. That's my theory.
That sounds more political.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And my question is, if you get anyone with you to Narnia, who would it be, and in which context, like the first book, movie more, or the second one with Caspian?
Sorry, the question is if I could take someone with me.
Yeah, who would it be?
Craig Parker, obviously. He's left me today, which is absolutely typical of Craig. He's gone off. Probably Craig. He wouldn't be much use in the battle. Or actually, maybe he'd be good in his sort of howdy capacity. Yeah, probably I'd take Craig to like the coronation party. I think that would be ideal.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Yesterday, during the autograph session, I asked you if you would consider doing a play at the West End in London, for example.
Doing what? Sorry?
Yesterday, during the autograph session, I asked you if you would consider doing a play in the West End in London, and you said yes. And now my follow-up question is, what kind of role would you like to play, or do you have a favorite playwright or director that you would like to work with?
Oh yeah, so many. I'd love to do theatre, and I have lots of favourite writers. I love like everything from Dennis Kelly to Stoppard to Shakespeare to... I don't know if I could just pick one role that I'd really like to do. But I think we were talking about this yesterday. I went to see Georgie do a Philip Ridley play last week, and he's one of my favourites as well. He is so dark and interesting and brilliant. Yeah, I don't know if I have like a role wish list, but I'd love to do some theatre, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God, I like your plaid.
Thank you very much.
It's great.
I told you yesterday that I'm an archery teacher.
Oh, yes.
And I have a question surrounding that topic. So you are one of the few actors who's actually doing the techniques right. And when I watch it, I'm like, she would be able to hit something. And,
is this when you're going to tell me that you've set up a target in the
No. I just wanted to know, how did the training go? Because Craig told us that you actually do hit. So I wanted, how much training did you get? Or are you just a natural? Or, yeah.
No, I'm just a natural, no training at all, you know, it's just totally chill. No, I had loads of training. I had loads and loads of training. And what's so nice about certain projects is that they allow you to learn a new skill. And so it's actually always such a treat when you can then use that in something else. So I did loads of archery training on Narnia and was taught really well. And didn't have to do that much of it on screen, actually. Like, I had loads of training compared to what I had to do.
Yeah, it shows. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. But so then when I had to fire a bow and arrow in rain, the idea is that I think I had a line which is like, oh, I've never even held a bow before.
Yeah, I laughed at that one, yeah.
And the whole crew was sort of rolling their eyes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. I totally loved you as Lola in Rain.
Thank you.
And I don't want to spoil anyone, but did it hurt when you lose your head?
I think probably people now know what happens. But yeah, so I have I'm sorry, hashtag spoiler alert, but for those of you who haven't seen it, I get my head cut off at the end of the 3rd season. And I had sort of thought that the whole thing would be completely computer generated and that they wouldn't like have an axe or anything, but they did actually film it. I mean, obviously not a real axe, but they did film it with an axe. And I turned up on set and I was like, oh, this is quite surprising and threatening. I guess I'll just get down here then. And I told this story yesterday in my panel with Craig, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself for those of you who were there. But there was this very imposing guy playing the executioner, and he was just desperate to chop my head off. Like, halfway through me speaking, I could just see this axe coming down, like, really early. It's quite worrying.
It hurt my soul pretty badly.
Oh.
I loved you. It was amazing.
Thank you.
But you don't seem to have any scars left.
Yeah, no, I've had some surgery. It's gone really well, actually.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. My question is, do you know any word in German?
Well, I arrived and asked the lovely staff at Magicon if they could teach me some German. And they were like, okay, which dirty words do you want to know? I was thinking more along the lines of like, hi, my name's Anna. So I speak hardly any. I mean, like, eine Beere bitte. Like, that's about as far as I get.
So not Futternapf or geil.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't want to.
Well, Ian Sommerhalder said his favorite word in German was Futternapf. And
what's that?
What? House?
House?
Not Napf?
Ian Somerhalder's favorite word is house. Just like house. That's very weird. What is it?
Was it at a panel today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
I was there. Okay, I was very concentrated.
We're gonna have to test you after this.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure you've been listening.
A favorite German words quiz. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, and Tom Ellis said it was geil. And I
Geil.
thought, yeah, it's like, well.
I want
it's
to know,
like,
is it Phil?
Great.
Great, geil.
Yeah, but more in a, certain way. Horny.
Oh, I see.
Literally translated.
That makes sense. I want a nice German word. Can I have I don't want any of this dirty bullshit. Can I have... I know you're all winding me up and trying to tell me the rudest words you know.
Schmetterling.
What's that mean?
Butterfly.
Oh, Schmetterling.
Or...
Schmetterling. That's very nice, I like that.
I mean, I'm Austrian and we have a certain dialect there, and maybe you can try it with Ohrkatzelschwarf. Ohrkatzelschwarf.
Ohrkatzelschwarf.
It is
Kind
the
of?
tail. It
Nearly?
is the tail of a squirrel.
That'll be useful.
Yeah, I think so. You will use it every day.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that. I like Schmetterling very much. I don't know if that's answered your question. Probably.
Yes, it's okay.
Next time she knows that
Good.
Ohrkatzelschwarf is her favorite German word.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. So my question is about rain. Of course, I was really sad to see what happened to Lola. But my question is, I really like the dynamic with your character and the character Adelaide, Kenna. Like this whole friendship, it was really beautiful to see. And I wanted to know how it was in set. Did you like to play with the other actress? Was really because the friendship was so good on TV, and I was like, is it really like this on set, or?
Yeah, it was so lovely to actually have so many scenes to play about female friendship. Like, I feel as though that's not something that's always represented on screen very well or very thoroughly. And those women went through, absolute nightmares in their friendships. I mean, my character slept with her character's husband. That wasn't the wisest decision ever. Like, they went through quite a lot together. And at the same time, all of us as actresses had moved country to live somewhere else, and we didn't know anyone else. And yeah, we all got on really well, and they're just such a lovely, lovely group of women. They're a delight, and hilarious as well. Like, we spent the whole time laughing. So, yeah, it is what you see on screen. They're absolutely lovely.
It was really beautiful.
Oh,
so
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Hello.
Hi. My question is, what's your favorite sweets from Germany?
My favorite sweet?
Yes.
Wow. I've had quite a lot since I've got here, actually. You guys have been very kind in bringing me things. So I've received a lot of chocolate, some booze, some beautiful pictures of myself, and some soap. So I've decided that I'm going to go home and get clean and fat and drunk and look at pictures of myself. That's what I will take away from MagicCon. But I think my favorite thing I had are these, they're like, they don't have any gelatin in them and they're pink. And they're like little creatures. Do I sound completely crazy?
You mean
Gummies.
bears?
But they're not gummy bears. They're pink and they've got one green ear and one red ear. What are they called? They're so good.
Anybody?
Veggie gummies or something. They were delicious. I couldn't stop eating them.
Their name is Grünohrhasen.
Oh, another easy word for me to pronounce.
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. They were delicious. I loved those.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
My question is about Narnia, and I wanted to ask you which of your movie siblings you like the most, Peter, Edmund, Lucy?
I feel like that's just not fair. I can't pick one. They're all very different, actually. I mean, at the time, I was really like closest in age to William, who played Peter. But now they're all grown-ups, and I don't know, I love them all. And actually, we work best like when the four of us are all together, because it's such a nice dynamic, like playing off each other. If I could play a different character, I would play Edmund. I think he's got like the coolest part. But yeah, that's who I'd play. But I couldn't choose between like which of them's my favorite. They're all lovely. Craig Parker, if anyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Narnia is about how family is working and you care for your brothers and sisters. And I would like to know whether you have changed your own behavior at home and your own family after the shootings.
That's a really interesting question. I don't know. I don't think that working on that job changed my relationship with my siblings. I have a younger sister and a younger brother, and they're both really great and really annoying, and I love them very much, and we're really close. But I don't think that was different because of the film. I suppose it does make you think about like kind of really sticking with your siblings through everything, and I'm really lucky that we haven't had too many challenges to undergo together. No like raging battles or talking lions. But yeah, I get on with my siblings really well.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Yesterday in the autograph session, you told me that you're the biggest fan of Craig Parker.
I think that's very
Who could
obvious.
have guessed?
And I want to ask you, what's your favorite thing about him?
This is difficult because it's very tempting to just be silly and make a joke here, but actually, it's also very tempting to just have a genuine rant about how much I love Craig Parker. I think it's his generosity. Like, he is just the most generous person in all respects. He's always, like, he's so thoughtful and kind. He always, like, remembers birthdays and gives presents. He's always like hosting the party. He's a very, very generous actor as well. So he's always like thinking about what you need in a particular situation. So yeah, I think his generosity, and he's also very silly, which I appreciate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, first of all, dude, you totally butchered the Ian Sommerhelder thing.
Oh, there you are. Sorry.
Yeah, hi again.
Hi.
It's Das Futterhaus. It's a shop for pet food. He just loves the way it sounds.
Futterhaus.
Futterhaus, yeah.
Futterhaus.
It's
Yeah, I get
house,
that.
basically.
Futterhaus.
What I wanted to ask is, did you have any horrible, awkward encounters with fans? Those are always nice stories.
Have I had any horrible encounters? Mainly people have been very nice to me. The like weirdest ones I have are with small children, because I've had several encounters where children are at an age where they're just very disturbed that you exist outside their television. So I was doing some Christmas shopping one year, and Narnia's always on TV at that time of year. And there was this 5-year-old with his mum, and he just looked at me, and he was really alarmed. He was really like, oh my God, she's on the loose. She needs to get back in the DVD player. This is a nightmare. And then he kind of came up to me and was like, what are you doing here? And I didn't really know how to approach it.
That's really cute, though.
Yeah, it was so cute. And then I sort of talked to him for a bit, and he was like, I said, I am that character, but also I play that character. So sometimes I live in London and do my shopping, and sometimes I'm back in the TV.
Oh, so you totally burst his bubble there.
I was trying to tread the fine line. And then he was really happy because he was like, this is great that you're also doing your shopping in the real world. Can you come back to my house for tea? It was very, very, very sweet. So those are the weirdest to navigate, I think.
Okay, that's pretty harmless. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. I've had just very overexcited people sometimes, which is difficult because I always feel like I'm going to be a disappointment. So when someone comes up to you and they're like, oh my God, 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 and the most that you can say is, hello. It just feels like you can't possibly supply as much as they're expecting.
Okay, don't undersell yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. I have 2 questions about Rain.
Yes.
And the first one is how it was to shoot with Adelaide Kane.
It was wonderful. She's a delight, and she's such a pro. When I would have a day off because I'm not in those scenes and get loads of sleep and saunter in the next day all refreshed, Adelaide would have been doing so much overtime. She's in every scene. And also, it's really interesting how you can, if you really want to know whether an actor's nice on set, you ask the crew, because the crew are there all the time. They know, they really notice how actors treat them and each other. And the crew absolutely love Adelaide. She's lovely.
And the second one is, was there a scene during the shoot with Craig or another actor that had to be filmed several times because you can't stop laughing?
No, because I'm a very professional lady. No, there were so many. We corpsed so much. I think especially when we were doing big party scenes, because we'd be in the background, we'd always have a running joke, and because there's so many people to get shots of in those scenes, they take a long time, and we would always end up shooting very late at night. And in particular, Toby and Caitlin, who played Prince Francis and Kenna, would just get so silly and make me laugh so much. Toby had a fake raccoon character called Tony. And Tony ran a very small hotel for rodents. And at about 10 p.m., Toby would always become Tony. And there was a lot of giggling. But that was kind of generally throughout shooting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hi. So actually, I just decided to ask you a question to tease my friend back there. My friend, sorry, back there.
Where's your friend back there?
I don't know. She's going
being shy.
Say something. No, she's shy. Yes.
Okay.
So I told her to ask you a question, but she's too shy. So she was like, "Well, you go ahead and ask her a question. That's why I'm standing here."
Okay, I get it. You
Why
don't
not?
really want to be there. You've been forced against your will.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And well, someone asked Tom the question before, which I really liked. So I want to ask you the same question. And it's, what kind of advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, that's really interesting. Probably just not to worry so much. I think, it's so easy to get caught up in worrying about what people think about you or upsetting people or always like analyzing every detail of what's happened. And I think I would just tell my younger self, like, don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. I've got a two-part question, depending on the first part. Have you read or watched Game of Thrones?
Yes. I haven't read it, but I've watched all of it.
Okay. If you could place one of your characters into the world of Game of Thrones, where would you put them or her, and what would she accomplish at the end?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think Lola would be much of a match for like any Game of Thrones characters. She's not as smart as any of them. I don't think. She wouldn't be as good at like navigating everything.
She held up to Narcisse quite well.
That's right. But then I feel like Narcisse against like Arya or Lord Baelish like wouldn't stand a chance, basically.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
You said before that sometimes fans get super excited. Is there someone beside Craig Parker, obviously, where you would meet and be totally excited about?
Yeah, lots of people, and I do get it because I get very nervous and like don't go up to people if I see them. I think if I were in the same room as Meryl Streep, I would probably faint. I think that would be that.
but you get the chance, like at award shows or something, out on red carpet.
Yeah, maybe I'll just become her stalker.
Yeah, I mean that works for many.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks again for being here and
Thank you for having
being
me.
the kind person you are. So I heard that in the first Narnia film, the actress of Lucy, sorry I forgot her name, when she entered as Lucy into Narnia, until then she didn't see anything of Narnia, none of the sets, and everything kept hidden from her, so they could film her real reaction as actress. And my question is, what was it for you, as you told us that you read the books, when you first encountered Narnia or entered this world, what was it like for you and what were you thinking?
They did that to all of us actually, in the scene where all four of us come through the wardrobe. There's like, we were all blindfolded and taken into this studio and then put in position and they rolled the cameras. And it was so beautiful and like completely as you would have imagined from the books. And one of the most extraordinary things about doing a film that size is that the outside sets that they build indoors are so stunning and just huge. Like the amount of work that has gone into them is amazing. So yeah, it was really magical, that moment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, as it seems, we have time for one last question. So, please.
Hi. Hello, Sadness.
Aw, thanks.
Hi. You look great. I watched Inside Out for the first time on a plane. And I don't know how many of you watch films on planes, but a plane is really not the place to watch an emotional film like Inside Out. Especially if you don't want to weep onto the person sitting next to you.
So first of all, it's an honor for me to meeting Queen Susan the Gentle.
Nice to meet you.
And my question is, if you had a chance to go back to Narnia, would you grab that chance? And which is your favorite fictional character of Narnia?
I would absolutely grab the chance. I have always been a massive fan of Jill Pole from The Magician's Nephew. I think she's pretty awesome, so she's my fave.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time is up already, but we have another panel going on soon. So I want to thank you for being here and applause for Anna Popplewell.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Vielen Dank, dass ihr euch das Video angesehen habt. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann lasst einen Daumen nach oben da. Hier habt ihr nun verschiedene Auswahlmöglichkeiten. Ihr könnt oben links unseren Kanal abonnieren. Oben rechts geht es weiter zu tollen Videos von diesem Event. Unten rechts gelangt ihr zur Internetseite vom nächsten Event. Zu guter Letzt kann ich euch noch den Space Store empfehlen. Hier gibt es alles Mögliche an Fanartikeln zu euren Lieblingsserien und Filmen. Bis demnächst auf diesem Kanal.